I'm 75 now, and I can't remember anybody except the Queen being there.
Recently, Queen Camilla, who is no stranger to controversy, was confronted by Princess Charlotte due to her troublesome behavior. Princess Charlotte, the confident daughter of Prince William and Kate Middleton, has been aware of the complicated history of her grandfather and the woman who pushed her grandmother, Princess Diana, out of the family picture. The complex relationship between Prince Charles and Camilla Parker Bowles has been a subject of fascination and scrutiny for decades. The couple's romance, which began in the early 1970s, ultimately became the reason for the breakdown of Charles's marriage to Lady Diana Spencer. Okay, so let's rewind to the vibrant 1970s. Picture this. Prince Charles, the dashing heir to the British throne, attending a glamorous polo match. It's summer, there's a gentle breeze, and he spots a young woman named Camilla Shand. Can you say sparks flying? They hit it off instantly. These two were introduced by their mutual friend, Lucia Santa Cruz, and they quickly came close to each other. Charles was drawn to her due to her intelligence, confidence, her beauty, and her sense of humor. They both started loving and dating each other as the time passed. As time passed, they both became inseparable. They started loving each other more and more with every passing minute. But their romance faced many challenges as Prince Charles's uncle, Lord Mountbatten, advised him to end the relationship and marry a good breeding and a virgin girl. Prince Charles was shattered by the duties to the monarchy and at the same time his love for Camilla. But eventually, after facing many consequences and fighting for his love and his royal duties, he decided to heed Lord Mountbatten's advice and left Camilla Shand. Fast forward a few years, and guess what? Charles went on to serve in the Royal Navy, while in 1973, Camilla Shand married Andrew Parker Bowles, a cavalry officer. Although Camilla Parker and Prince Charles were apart, their love, closeness, and relationship continued to grow beneath the surface. It all sounds very tragic, doesn't it? But as we all know, life in the royal circle is often a series of twists and turns. Prince Charles again saw Camilla through the grapevine and realized that his feelings never died. But here's the kicker. He was under pressure to find a suitable bride, someone who would fill the royal mold, who was somehow related to the royal family and could carry on the royal legacy. Enter Lady Diana Spencer, who first catches Charles's eye in 1980. At merely 19 years old, Diana is naive, charming, and the perfect picture of youth. They meet at a family gathering, and Charles, captivated, thinks she might be the one. But here's the catch. Diana really doesn't know what she's getting into. Can you imagine being thrust into royal duties at that age? Talk about overwhelming. Charles started becoming close to Dana Spencer, a young, beautiful, aristocratic lady who was chosen because of her purity, beauty, elegance, and her relations to the royal family. Fast forward to February 24th, 1981, just about 13 meetings later, and bam, the engagement is announced. They're both grinning from ear to ear on the cover of magazines worldwide. It's a fairy tale wedding in July that has about 750 million viewers tuning in globally, with crowds lining the streets of London. It's breathtaking, right? But behind all that glamour, there are ominous clouds brewing. Let's talk about the wedding day. On a day that should have been filled with joy and laughter, there's a palpable tension. Diana, bless her heart, later confides to friends that she felt like a lamb to the slaughter. How heartbreaking is that? She even catches a glimpse of Charles crying the night before, signaling some real inner turmoil. People at that time thought that once they were married, everything would settle down. But oh, how wrong they'd be. Diana stumbles upon a bracelet meant for Camilla. Yes, that Camilla, with her pet names engraved on it. Talk about a massive betrayal. The argument that follows between Diana and Charles is just the beginning of the chaos. It's as if a dark cloud has settled over their marriage. Despite the breathtaking scenery of honeymooning on the royal yacht, Diana's heart and mind are troubled. Can you believe that she felt Camilla's presence over her entire honeymoon? That's the ultimate nightmare, right? And it doesn't stop there. Diana finds cufflinks, gifted to Charles by Camilla. This leads to yet another blowout fight. This is not how a fairy tale should be written. To top it all off, they had their first child, Prince William, in June 1982, and then later, the adorable Prince Harry in September 1984. But underneath this seemingly happy family facade, cracks continue to widen. Diana is increasingly feeling isolated in her royal role, while battling emotional hardships. However, the marriage was doomed from the start, as Charles and Diana were mismatched due to their interests and differences. In their personalities and their values soon became apparent, which worked as a bridge between their relationship. On the other side, due to this unstable relationship between Prince Charles and Diana, he was attracted to her ex-girlfriend, Camilla Parker, more and more. Because of this, the marriage began to unravel, and Charles rekindled his romance with Camilla. The relationship, which was conducted in secret, was actually the betrayal of Diana's trust and royal values. It was a love triangle between Camilla, Andrew, and Prince Charles, and Diana was also related to it. These stories of their love triangle, while Camilla was married to Andrew and Charles, was married to Diana, caused Princess Charlotte to confront Camilla years later. This affair ultimately became the reason for the divorce between Diana and Charles, which caused many hurts and serious conflicts to the royal family. Princess Charlotte, naturally, took Queen Camilla as the reason for this insult to the royal family. When heard by Princess Charlotte, these stories and rumors caused a deep sensation of betrayal and blood boiling in her veins because of the love of her real grandmother and the pain caused to her by this affair. Shift to somber music and footage of struggles within the royal family. As the years go by, the public sees a perfect family. But behind closed doors, Diana is struggling with mental health issues, including bulimia. The strictness of royal life seems to suffocate her, and she finds emotional solace in her bodyguard, Barry Manicky. Their bond grows. Diana refers to him as her greatest love. Here's the kicker. Andrew Parker Bowles, Camilla's husband, is aware of the fling, and Diana, knowing very well what's happening behind the scenes, is trapped in her misery. In 1989, everything escalated. Diana confronts Camilla directly at a party, a bold move. Can you imagine how intense that moment must have been? Diana boldly proclaims, "I want my husband." But Camilla doesn't flinch, implying that if Charles can have his affairs, then Diana can have hers too. It's like it was a Shakespearean tragedy unfold. As the relationship between Charles and Camilla continued in secret, Diana, who had been aware of Charles and Camilla's secret relationship affair, soon discovered the truth with proofs. She confronted Charles, but he denied his affair with Camilla. But somehow, Diana knew that she was not told the truth, and something was going on between Charles and Camilla, as she noticed the changes in his behavior. Fast forward to November 1992. Gut-wrenching heartbreak takes center stage with the infamous Camillagate scandal. An intimate phone call between Charles and Camilla is leaked to the press. Anyone just can't make this stuff up, can they? The public is shaken, and tensions arise as the media circulates this shocking scandal. It's a disaster, and Diana's heart is breaking into a million pieces. Then we hear Charles's side during a highly publicized interview with Jonathan Dimbleby in June 1994. Charles openly admits to his affair with Camilla, hoping to gain public sympathy. Instead, it backfires dramatically. Diana is portrayed as the victim here, while Charles looks almost foolish for his lack of awareness. Of course, Diana makes headlines with her signature move, attending an event in a stunning black dress nicknamed the Revenge Dress. Bravo, Diana. As time passed, this love triangle between the three parties became increasingly complicated and a matter of stress for all of them. Camilla, who was still deeply in love with Charles, felt guilty about her continued affair with Prince Charles while she was married to Andrew Parker. But she was not able to stop the continued attraction between Charles and herself, knowing it was causing serious harm to her marriage with Andrew Parker and Prince Charles' marriage to Diana Spencer. But the love between them found no bounds, and they continued to date each other despite knowing the consequences if their affair was disclosed. They found happiness, love, and overwhelming feelings of romance with each other, which caused them to continue this affair. They dated each other for a long time. Andrew, who had grown tired of their relationship and the betrayal of trust, eventually confronted her about the affair. Camilla, who was torn between her love and her loyalty to her husband, confessed her affair in front of him. This confession caused both of them shattered and torn into pieces because of betrayal, and a sense of guilt. Andrew, who was devastated and shattered by the news, eventually decided to end the marriage. The breakdown of Camilla's marriage to Andrew was a significant turning point in the love triangle. Charles, who was still married to Diana, continued his affair with Camilla, despite knowing that it was causing serious conflicts in the royal family and harm to those around him. Let's talk about November 20th, 1995. Diana faces the camera in that blockbuster BBC Panorama interview watched by over 22.8 million people. She opens up about her troubling marriage, her battles with an eating disorder, and her candid quote about her husband's indiscretions. "There were 3 of us in this marriage, so it was a bit crowded." What an iconic moment. The raw honesty sent shockwaves through the monarchy. Diana reveals her relationship with James Hewitt, her writing instructor, and discloses her struggles, which is crucial for raising awareness about mental health issues. Watching Diana come alive in that interview as she speaks with passion about her suffering is truly heartbreaking. But it also shows her strength. The public sentiment turns overwhelmingly in her favor, while Charles's image takes a nosedive. Talk about a twist in their ongoing saga. Princess Diana talked about feeling isolated and unsupported within the royal family, which caused her eating disorder. Her battle with bulimia became a significant aspect of her having public emotions with her. She also put efforts to raise awareness about mental health issues and people suffering with serious mental issues and struggling on their own. The interview led to public outpouring of sympathy for Diana and greatly damaged Charles's reputation. The royal family's image was fully shattered as Diana gained the public sympathy. For Diana, it was a powerful use of her voice and independence which helped her to have public support. Yet it also intensified media interest and intrusion into her life, contributing to the paparazzi waiting to hear new updates about her life every time. After all of this, having withstood 15 years of emotionless marriage, Charles and Diana officially filed for divorce in August 1996. Despite their separation, Diana retained the title of Princess of Wales and her apartments at Kensington Palace. However, she was not able to have the Royal Highness title and any future claim to the British throne. In July 1997, after his divorce from Princess Diana, Prince Charles took steps to integrate Camilla Shand more publicly into his life and circle, and he started taking steps to make her the part of royal family, in other words, royal legacy. He hosted an extraordinary 50th birthday celebration for Camilla at his residence, Highgrove. This was a gesture of Prince Charles showing the world his love for Camilla and her official involvement in his life. Diana was not invited to this celebration. Diana's unstable relationships and her tragic death were the main reasons that caused pain to Princess Charlotte, as Princess Diana was her grandmother, and they are closely related by blood. Hearing her story after the divorce, the unstable relationships, the things she faced, and her death was the reason that will always make her children emotional and cause them to question Camilla as to why she became the reason for the divorce and the unhappy life of Princess Diana. After the divorce, Diana moved on with her life. In 1995, then she had a relationship with Hasnat Khan, a heart surgeon in Pakistan. Their relationship lasted for 2 years until 1997. Again, she faced a heartbreak. After that, she had a relationship with Dodi Fayed, who was an Egyptian film producer. They began dating in 1997, and the most hurting scene of this story happened when they both died together in a tragic car accident in Paris on August 31st, 1997, after a very few months of dating each other. Princess Diana, known as the People's Princess, was beloved for her philanthropic work, her compassion, and her ability to connect people from all walks of life. Her legacy continues to inspire people from all over the world, and she remains one of the most iconic figures of the 20th century. Some lines were written by Princess Charlotte on the death of Princess Diana. "My grandmother, Princess Diana, was taken from us far too soon. I never got to meet her, but I've heard so many wonderful stories about her kindness, her compassion, and her generosity. It hurts to think that she's not here to see me grow up, to attend my birthdays and special occasions, and to offer me guidance and love. But eventually, though she's not physically here, I feel her presence in my life, and I strive to make her proud by being a kind and caring person, just like she was." The profound love Princess Charlotte holds for her grandmother, Princess Diana, ignited a fierce passion within her. This unwavering devotion fueled her determination to confront Queen Camilla, driven by a heart overflowing with memories and emotions tied to her beloved grandmother. The fire of her grandmother's love burned brightly within Charlotte, empowering her to stand resolutely before Queen Camilla and pose poignant questions, seeking truth and closure. Transition to a more somber tone with clips of memorials and tributes. But it doesn't end there, friends. The world is still reeling from Diana's powerful words when tragedy strikes. On August 31st, 1997, the world lost Diana in a horrific car crash in Paris while fleeing from the paparazzi. What ensues is an outpouring of grief that the royal family has never seen before. Thousands of flowers and tributes flood the gates of Kensington Palace. People around the globe mourn the loss of their beloved people's princess. The royal family, meanwhile, struggles with how to respond. Queen Elizabeth especially faces backlash for her seemingly indifferent reaction, as she remains at Balmoral with William and Harry, leading to public outrage about her cold demeanor. The nation craves a sign of mourning from the monarchy, shaking the foundation of traditions that have lasted for centuries. Following the tragic death of Princess Diana in 1997, Charles, Prince of Wales, continued to face intense media scrutiny. Despite this, he remained committed to his long-term partner, Camilla Parker Bowles. As the years passed, Charles and Camilla's relationship became more publicly accepted. In 2005, the couple announced their engagement, and they married in a civil ceremony at Windsor Guildhall on April 9, 2005. The wedding was a low-key affair, with the couple opting for a private ceremony attended by close friends and family. The Queen and Prince Philip did not attend the ceremony, but did attend the blessing at St. George's Chapel, Windsor Castle afterward. Charles and Camilla's marriage marked a new chapter in their lives, one that was met with a mix of public opinion. While some people accepted Camilla as Charles's wife, others continued to harbor feelings of loyalty to Princess Diana's memory. People were confused about accepting her as it was a kind of betrayal of their loyalty to Princess Diana. After their marriage, Charles and Camilla have continued to carry out their royal duties together and separately, with Camilla becoming the Duchess of Cornwall. Camilla always supported Charles at different royal events and engagements, including numerous official visits, ceremonies, marriages, and charities. The couple has also become increasingly visible in their charitable work, with Camilla supporting a range of causes, including literacy, health, and animal welfare, which is the major cause of her being accepted by the people on her emotional attachment being made with the people. The couple's marriage also brought about changes in their personal lives. They divided their time between their homes in Highgrove, Gloucestershire, and Clarence House, London. At the same time, Camilla also became stepmother to Charles's two sons, Prince William, father of Princess Charlotte, and Prince Harry. As Camilla became stepmother to Prince William, it was obvious that comparisons were drawn to his late mother, Princess Diana. This new change naturally also affected the life of the children, and for this reason alone they may have been reluctant to accept the situation. The children suffered more because of the separation of their parents, and as this issue is the main headline of the paparazzi, that says it caused more harm to their mental and social health equally to the children. The sufferings they had passed through in their childhood because of the failure of their parents' marriage and because of the horrible death of their mother are not forgettable in any case. They always took Camilla as the reason for their parents' separation and the death of their mother, which led to numerous suffering to both the princes in their childhood. William's life had been forever changed by her mother's loss, and Camilla's presence in his life was a poignant reminder of what he had lost. Similarly, for Princess Charlotte, Camilla's presence in their life served as a bittersweet reminder of her grandmother Diana. She never knew, but to whom she was emotionally attached due to her pure and miserable life. Despite Camilla's efforts to build a relationship with her stepchildren and step-grandchildren, the shadow of Princess Diana's memory continues to loom large in their lives, which is the main reason that Princess Charlotte, a confident princess, can anytime confront Camilla because of overflowing love for her grandmother. Throughout their marriage, Charles and Camilla faced various challenges and controversies, including public criticism, but they remained stalked to their love and their royal duties. And Camilla was recognized fully by the people when she became the first consort of the Prince of Wales to carry out engagements on their own, without Charles. This is an important milestone in marking her place in people's hearts and that of the King of England. Camilla was given the title of Duchess of Cornwall rather than the Princess of Wales in respect to late Princess Diana. The Clarence House initially announced that Camilla would be called Princess Consort rather than being called Queen Camilla, and this was the decision of the late Queen. But in 2022, when Charles's accession to the throne was near, the palace announced that Camilla would indeed become Queen Consort now. This led to mixed emotions from the royal family who denied it somehow, and from the public and media who thought that she earned the title of Queen by herself. Regardless of the controversy, she is the Queen of Consort. But not for Prince Harry, who calls her the other woman and the villain in his mother's story. But the rest of the royal family eventually accepted Camilla as time passed. Of course, the love of Princess Diana can never be erased from her children's hearts, and these emotional scars are always there in their hearts. They all accepted Camilla, but somehow there will always be a part of Diana in their hearts, which will always make them question Camilla's presence at times in their lives. This family has complicated emotions towards Diana's memory and their emotional attachment to her. Their emotions regarding Camilla, as a part of their family, have been complicated for a long time. But this is what makes the king happy, so his family must pull together and be okay with it.
I haven't really scraped the surface on my experience, but I do think that I would never want someone else to feel that way.
As one of the most publicized royal couples in modern history, the lives of Prince Harry and Meghan Markle have been under constant scrutiny. Their every move, every word, and every decision have been analyzed by the press and the public. However, no one could have predicted the emotional moment that would soon unfold between them. Prince Harry, known for his candidness and open heart, found himself in tears after witnessing an unexpected transformation in his wife, Meghan Markle. This wasn't just any change. It was a shift that caught everyone by surprise. What could have possibly led to this? Meghan, who had always been seen as a strong and independent woman, had undergone a dramatic personal evolution. This transformation was both visible and emotional, and for Harry, it represented a new chapter in their lives together. For a woman who had once faced relentless criticism and had to fight against public perception, this was a moment of reckoning. It was not only a realization of her own growth, but also a turning point for their family as a whole. As the couple navigated the challenges of living outside the royal spotlight, Meghan began to evolve in ways that even Prince Harry hadn't anticipated. The impact of this transformation, both on her and on their relationship, would soon become undeniable. She was no longer just the Duchess of Sussex, a figure defined by royal duty and protocol. Meghan had stepped into her own, taking control of her personal and professional life, advocating for causes she believed in, and shedding the weight of the media's harsh judgment. This new Meghan was someone Harry had never seen before. She was confident, outspoken, and unapologetically herself. This moment of change wasn't just a superficial shift in her image. It was a deeper transformation that affected her entire being. It was a reawakening, and in Harry's eyes, it was a revelation. Meghan had not just changed her role in the world, she had evolved into the woman she was always meant to be. And this change would shape the future of their lives together. This chapter of their journey, though full of challenges, marked the beginning of a new, more authentic era for both of them. Meghan's journey of self-discovery. Meghan Markle's transformation did not happen overnight. It was the result of years of personal growth, the pressure of being in the public eye, and the emotional weight of the criticism she faced. After stepping down from royal duties, Meghan found herself at a crossroads. She was no longer just a royal. She was a mother, a wife, and a woman rediscovering her voice. What led to this pivotal change? Meghan's journey of self-discovery began with her stepping away from the constant media coverage that had once defined her life. She and Harry sought refuge in their new home, far from the prying eyes of the press. And Meghan finally had the space to breathe, to think, and to explore who she truly was beyond the expectations of royalty. With the support of Prince Harry, she found the courage to explore her own identity without the constraints of royal life. No longer living in the shadow of tradition, Meghan was able to redefine her purpose, becoming an advocate for causes she truly believed in. As Meghan continued her work with various charities and causes, her self-assurance grew. She used her platform to speak out about racial inequality, women's rights, and mental health, issues that were close to her heart. Her activism became her voice in a world that had once tried to silence her. She found joy in helping others, in using her position for good. Meghan was no longer the woman defined by public opinion or royal expectations. Instead, she was finding peace in who she truly was. This newfound clarity transformed Meghan, not only in how she carried herself, but in how she approached life and her role in the world. Meghan had always been a driven and ambitious woman, but as she found her voice outside of royal duties, she blossomed in a way that no one, not even Harry, had fully anticipated. Her transformation wasn't just about stepping into her power. It was about shedding the past, the labels, and the limitations that had been placed on her. Meghan was free to be unapologetically herself, and she was embracing it with every step she took. Harry's reaction: a changed man. For Prince Harry, this transformation was both inspiring and overwhelming. As someone who had always been protective of Meghan, watching her embrace this new version of herself brought tears to his eyes. It wasn't just the change in Meghan that affected him. It was the profound effect it had on their relationship. The emotional toll of being under constant media scrutiny had been wearing on both of them, but Harry saw a side of Meghan that he had never witnessed before. She was no longer burdened by the weight of royal obligations or public expectations. Instead, she was free. Free to live life on her terms. Free to be the woman she had always wanted to be. And free to stand beside her husband as an equal in every sense. This wasn't just about watching his wife succeed. It was about watching her embrace a version of herself that Harry had always believed she could be. But now he was seeing it unfold before his very eyes. This transformation allowed Harry to see a deeper connection between them. It wasn't just about the love they shared. It was about the strength they had found in each other. Meghan's transformation represented the growth of their relationship, as they were no longer just navigating the pressures of royal life, but truly living for one another. Harry realized that, just as Meghan had grown into her own, he too had evolved, becoming more attuned to her needs and desires, and more open to his own growth. Harry's tears were not just a reaction to Meghan's newfound confidence. They were a reflection of the deep bond they shared. They had weathered the storm of public scrutiny together, and in doing so, had learned to grow together as individuals and as a couple. This journey had strengthened their connection in ways they never thought possible. The emotional growth they had undergone was a testament to the power of love, mutual respect, and understanding. The road ahead. As Meghan's transformation continued, Prince Harry also experienced his own changes. The couple began to embrace new challenges and opportunities, leading them down paths they never imagined when they first met. They were no longer trapped by the expectations of the royal family or the weight of public opinion. Instead, they were charting their own course, together. The journey ahead was not without its obstacles, but the bond between Harry and Meghan had never been stronger. They had weathered the storm of public scrutiny together, and in the process, they had both transformed, Meghan into a confident, empowered woman, and Harry into a man who understood the true power of love, vulnerability, and emotional growth. As Meghan's voice became louder, Harry's support for her became stronger. He was no longer the prince who had once followed the family's dictates. He had evolved into a man who made his own decisions, fought for his beliefs, and supported his wife wholeheartedly in doing the same. Together, they were no longer just a couple in the public eye. They were a family, navigating life with purpose, authenticity, and an unbreakable bond. This unexpected transformation was just the beginning of a new chapter for them both. As they moved forward, they were more than just the Duke and Duchess of Sussex. They were powerful advocates, compassionate leaders, and loving parents. And no matter what the future held, they were ready to face it together. The media's shift in perception. For years, Meghan Markle had been relentlessly pursued by the media. She had been vilified for every decision, every action, and every move she made. From her relationship with Prince Harry to her departure from royal duties, the press was quick to judge, scrutinize, and criticize her. However, something began to change. As Meghan grew into her new role outside the royal family, there was a noticeable shift in how she was portrayed. The public began to see Meghan not just as a controversial figure, but as someone who was standing firm in her own truth. Her transformation, both personal and professional, was undeniable. She became more involved in her charitable work, using her platform to speak out on social issues, including racial inequality, women's rights, and mental health. With every new project she took on, she became more visible, not just as a former royal, but as a powerful voice in her own right. This shift wasn't just about changing how she was portrayed. It was also about how Meghan chose to embrace the changing narrative. As she delved deeper into issues she was passionate about, her voice began to resonate more with people who had once seen her as the villain in a royal soap opera. It wasn't just about her being an ex-royal. It was about the actions she was taking and the stories she was telling. With each interview, charity initiative, and public appearance, Meghan demonstrated an unwavering commitment to using her influence for good. The world began to see her not just as someone connected to royalty, but as someone capable of bringing change. For the first time in years, the media couldn't simply box her into the narratives they had created. Meghan had taken control of her own story, and the world watched in awe as the woman who had once been criticized for every move she made became a beacon of empowerment and change. The same media outlets that had once taken aim at her were now forced to acknowledge the remarkable transformation she had undergone. They were left to ask, how did Meghan Markle go from being an international target of negativity to a woman of influence, advocacy, and self-assurance? It wasn't just about breaking free from royal constraints. It was about taking control of her narrative, both for herself and for her family. Prince Harry's support. A rock through it all. Prince Harry's unwavering support from Meghan throughout this entire transformation has been pivotal. While Meghan was busy redefining herself, Harry stood by her side, providing emotional support and encouragement. His role in this transformation cannot be understated. He was the one person who saw Meghan not just as the former Duchess of Sussex, but as the woman she was becoming. Harry, who himself had undergone his own evolution in the public eye, understood better than anyone what it was like to have the world scrutinize every aspect of your life. Having lived much of his life in the shadow of his mother's tragic death and the ensuing media frenzy, Harry knew the pressures that came with public attention. He had always struggled with the weight of the expectations placed on him, and when Meghan entered his life, he found someone who shared similar burdens. He admired her resilience and strength from the very beginning, knowing how difficult it must have been for her to face constant criticism, especially as a woman of color. As Meghan embraced her new role outside the royal family, Harry supported her every step of the way. He was always the one behind the scenes, keeping her grounded when the media came after her or when she doubted herself. His constant encouragement allowed Meghan to stand taller, speak louder, and become the person she always wanted to be. Harry, who had always been seen as the more rebellious royal, was the first to understand the need for Meghan to step into her power. For him, this was not just about supporting his wife. It was about witnessing her become the woman who had always been inside her, waiting to break free. Meghan's transformation wasn't just a personal triumph. It was a collective one, and Harry's love, support, and commitment to her were essential parts of the journey. As they walked this new path together, Harry realized that their marriage had not only survived, it had thrived. It had deepened, strengthened, and evolved, just like Meghan herself. The impact on their marriage. As Meghan's transformation unfolded, so too did the bond between her and Harry. The changes in Meghan weren't just personal. She was evolving as a partner, a mother, and a public figure. These shifts in her life were naturally going to affect her marriage to Harry, but rather than causing strain, it only seemed to strengthen their connection. They had always been a team, but now they were navigating life with a deeper understanding of each other's needs, dreams, and desires. The couple had always been open about the challenges they faced, especially in the public eye. But as Meghan stepped into her own power, Harry realized how much he had underestimated her potential. He had seen her face adversity with grace, but it was only now that he truly understood the depth of her strength. As Meghan found her voice, it brought a new dimension to their relationship, one that was based on mutual growth and respect. Their marriage became a partnership not just in the sense of love and support, but in ambition and purpose. They were no longer just the Duke and Duchess of Sussex. They were two individuals united by a shared mission to change the world for the better. What's more, the emotional connection between them deepened. No longer did they merely have a relationship built on shared history and royal obligations. They had become two souls with aligned visions for the future. Meghan's transformation allowed Harry to see a new side of her, a side that reflected strength, resilience, and an unwavering commitment to making a difference. And this new side of Meghan inspired Harry to continue evolving alongside her, adapting and growing just as she had. Every milestone Meghan achieved, Harry celebrated with her, knowing that each success was a testament to her unwavering determination. But beyond the successes, Harry also cherished the quiet moments with her, moments that spoke volumes about the true nature of their relationship. Together, they were stronger than ever, and they knew they were ready for whatever challenges lay ahead, raising their family with new values. As Meghan transformed, so too did the way she and Harry approached their roles as parents. Their children, Archie and Lilibet, were growing up in a different world than the one Harry had experienced. While Harry had been raised within the confines of royal tradition, his own children would have the freedom to explore the world on their own terms. Meghan's transformation had instilled in both her and Harry a deep desire to raise their children with values of kindness, empathy, and independence, values that they themselves held dear. Meghan's work, advocating for women's rights, racial equality, and mental health, became an integral part of their family's mission. She and Harry began to raise their children with an understanding of the world beyond their own experiences, instilling in them a sense of responsibility to make a positive impact on the world. The couple emphasized the importance of using their platform for good, teaching their children that their voices mattered and that they had the power to make a difference. Raising children outside the royal spotlight, Meghan and Harry sought to provide them with a more normal upbringing, one that balanced fame with the simple joys of life. They encouraged their kids to appreciate the value of hard work, compassion, and community. Their household was one filled with love, learning, and an ongoing commitment to creating a better world. Meghan's transformation had given them both the tools to parent in a way that was thoughtful, grounded, and future-focused. As they raised their children, Meghan's transformation became a touchstone for how they would lead their family. They wanted to ensure that their children grew up with a sense of purpose, just as Meghan had found. It wasn't just about wealth or privilege, it was about compassion, integrity, and a deep commitment to improving the world. Meghan and Harry wanted to give their children the tools to live meaningful lives, grounded in the values that had come to define their own personal journeys. The emotional moment that changed everything. The day that Prince Harry found himself in tears, witnessing Meghan's transformation, marked a pivotal moment in their relationship and in their lives. It wasn't just the change in Meghan herself, it was the realization of how far they had come together. Meghan, once uncertain and unsure of her place in the world, had transformed into a confident and powerful force, and Harry couldn't have been more proud. The tears weren't born out of sadness. Rather, they came from a deep well of emotion, gratitude, and awe at the woman Meghan had become. He saw in her everything he had always admired: her strength, her intelligence, her unwavering commitment to making the world a better place. But most importantly, he saw in her the partner he had always hoped for, a woman who would not just walk beside him, but lead with him. In that moment, Harry realized that they had grown together as individuals and as a couple, and their journey had only just begun. The tears reflected the joy he felt for Meghan's transformation, but they also symbolized the realization that they were on the verge of something even greater, a future built on love, support, and shared values. And no matter what challenges lay ahead, Harry knew they could face them together, moving forward together. The transformation of Meghan Markle had not only affected her, but it had changed the entire course of her and Harry's lives. As they moved forward, they did so with a renewed sense of purpose. Meghan's newfound strength and confidence had breathed new life into their relationship, and together, they were forging ahead with a vision for the future that was uniquely their own. The journey had been long, filled with obstacles and challenges, but Meghan and Harry had come out stronger on the other side. They were no longer the couple that had been constantly scrutinized by the press. They had become two individuals who had found their own voices and were using them to create lasting change. The world had watched their transformation, and now, as they stepped into the future, the world would see the powerful partnership they had built. What does the future hold for Meghan and Harry? Their transformation is just the beginning of a new chapter, one that will undoubtedly shape their legacy and inspire others to embrace change and growth in their own lives.